turn your back on one who wants to borrow. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your heavenly Father. For he makes his sun rise on the bad and the good, and causes rain to fall on the just and the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what recompense will you have? Do not the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet your brothers only, what is unusual about that? Do not pagans do the same? So be perfect, just as your heavenly Father is perfect. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
To the magic mirror he said, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Well, in the case of Snow White, everything is copacetic, everything is cool. That's if the wicked stepmother, the queen, gets the answer that she wants to hear. And woe unto the one that challenges her elevated view of self. Now, I also can't help but to think about the old TV show, Happy Days, author Fonzarelli, the Fonz, pulling out his comb to style his hair, while peering into the mirror only to get the thumbs up, hey! You see, he was impressed. He was impressed with what he saw, looking back at him in the mirror. Well, how many of us here are satisfied with the way we look, physically and spiritually? You see, a mirror is not just about physical appearance. Merriam-Webster also says that a mirror is something that gives representation or an exemplary model. If I may add, like Jesus Christ, the very one whom we are to mimic. The Latin origin of the word mirror means to wonder at. In today's readings, we see a beautifully woven thread in which to wonder at, in which to marvel. And we are told to be holy. Don't hate. We are reminded that we are God's temple. Do not seek revenge, and love, particularly our enemies. In Leviticus, the Lord tells Moshe, to tell the assembly and tells us to be holy. He calls us to be humble, faithful, upright, pure, clean, and good. Well, the Gospel of Matthew restates it in a way that is challenging us to go and be perfect, which makes many theologians wonder, is that even possible? Then the Lord says, do not hate. Now listen to the list of synonyms for hate and see if any of these apply to us. Enmity, hostility, loathing, revenge, nuisance, gripe, disgust, aversion, detest, and bothersome, abhorrence. Or how about a few of the concept words? To hold a grudge, animosity, disaffection, bitterness of feeling. These words are all connected to hate. We must do an internal audit, an internal review to see if people see the following traits in us. Are we antagonistic? Are we chilly, combative, hateful, inhospitable, unfavorable? Are we cold, grouchy, vengeful, surly? Are we malicious? Are we gruff? Are we aloof? Even antisocial. All of this is associated with hate. How can we say that we love our neighbor? How can we say that we love one another if we make others feel as if they're walking on eggshells in our presence? You see, Jesus even goes so far as to expand the parameters of what is deemed a neighborhood. Our neighbor is everyone we meet, even non-Catholics. You see, we are called to love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is long-suffering. If we have a problem with anyone, we can remedy it by simply communicating in a loving way. God's word says in 1 Thessalonians 5:11, we are to edify and build up one another, not tear each other down, even if we perceive ourselves to be wronged in some way. You see, we are not responsible for the behavior issues of another person. We are to pray for them because God causes the sun to rise on the perceived evil and the good. We are reminded in our readings that he sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. If you want to build up treasures in heaven, love those that are difficult to love. Love is the only way to truly convert and turn a brother or sister from wrath. Because if one perseveres in hate, they will inherit what they sow. There is this divine balance, a retribution for those who reject this yoke of peace. Another way we can say it is just suck it up, buttercup. Now, I remember quietly watching TV as a young boy, only to have my younger sister, who's 3 years younger than I am, she'd sneak in and she'd smack me in the back of the head, and then she'd start screaming, "Mom, Dad, Freddie hit me!" Then, of course, I would get in trouble and I would get my butt tore up. This happened on a regular, routine basis. But it didn't take long before my mom wised up and started paying attention. You see, she caught my sister in the act. Now, whether this is good parenting or not, I cannot say. My mother called me over to the side and said, "Hey, I saw what's going on, and the next time, you have my full permission to retaliate." And let me tell you, boy, did I. In fact, my mom had to break us up. I remember her screaming, "I didn't tell you to kill her!" This takes us to an eye for an eye. You see, this is not about revenge. Many people misunderstand this verse in Matthew. And reminiscent of the bout with my sister, this concept was to keep one from going overboard. An example, one cannot steal a piece of chocolate and get a nuclear bomb dropped on their head. In the ancient world, a small incident usually resulted in extreme retaliation, like death. Jesus expands this eye for an eye protective measure even further, where we are to turn the other cheek. If you notice, the text says, if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, offer him the other. You see, one would have to be backhanded, assuming the striker was right-handed. Or, I hate it, for those of you who are left-handed, but who would be considered evil in the ancient world. To be backhanded was to be more insulting than anything else. Jesus says, offer the other side as well to those who insult you. To be a Christian, we must develop thick skins. In modern times where people are so easily offended, feelings get hurt so easily. Can you imagine how much stress could be alleviated if we could let go of the need for revenge, the need for retaliation? I bet our blood pressure could thank us. Now, a practical application. I attended a summer pool party and was enjoying good company and delicious food. Riding a little late and not accustomed to many social gatherings, I had a friend of mine show up. He's typically a recluse. Granted, he was invited by the owners of the house unbeknownst to me. Anyway, he consumed a little too much alcohol, too much of the forbidden fruit, and decided that he could replicate Jesus' walk across the water. All while clothed, might I add. Well, he failed, and he failed miserably. A little while later, I was standing nearby when I heard a rather heated conversation with the owner of the house. I think they were arguing over who had it worse as a child. Well, you could tell he was getting a little hot under the collar. The man whom he was arguing with was about 6'5", about 275 pounds. You really didn't want to jump on a man this size. And then it eventually happened. He jumped up in the big man's face, turned, and punched a much smaller man in the face that was innocently standing next to him. And the little man was shot. There with his eyes wide open, aggression somewhere, and apparently he was sober enough or had good enough sense not to punch the big man. So he struck this other poor soul instead, right in the schnoz, right in the nose. And on top of everything else, he was in front of a bunch of people and their kids. And there was this big collective gasp that permeated the air. Well, the poor guy's mind was going a mile a minute trying to figure out what just happened. He was caught completely off guard, and he determined quickly that this was a no-win situation. For should he, A, reciprocate with a punch of his own, knowing St. Augustine's just war scenario just didn't fit the circumstance, not to mention he wouldn't have felt a thing anyway, and at best he would have beat up a drunk man, one that could barely stand. B, he could give him a good verbal threat, which he wouldn't be cognizant of. C, he could ignore him and go cry quietly to himself in a corner. Or D, he could talk him down, pack him up some food to go in order that he might sober up and then drive him home safely. Therefore, the rest could enjoy their party without any more drama. Although, truthfully, I'm sure he wanted to drive him halfway, kick him out and make him walk. Well, the man's pride was a little damaged. Although the drunkard has never forgotten what the guy did for him to this day. Nor have the children, nor those present at the party. You see, he followed in the footsteps of Jesus, selecting option D. Imagine how life might turn out if we could somehow control difficult circumstances in our own lives. You see, when aggression and hostility is met with the same, it only begets more animosity. I thought this poor guy was a class act, putting Jesus' teaching into practice. Now, I know not every confrontation is avoidable. There is a season for everything, but if we can be bold enough to set aside typical worldly reactions and follow the other worldly suggestions of the Son of God, we just might be pleased at the person peering back at us in the mirror. You see, there's something to be said for being conscious before Almighty God. And before closing this morning, I would like to issue a challenge. Before you lay your head down on your pillow, I want you to gaze deep into your internal mirror. Enter your inner sanctuary, your naos, your temple. Enter the Holy of Holies found in the recesses of your heart. It is in this stillness that God speaks to each of us. Ask yourself, am I the wicked stepmother? Am I the unsavory character in the lives of those around me? Is there something I can do to bring peaceful resolve to my life and those around me? Ask yourself, who is the fairest of the land? In Hebrews 6:12 it says, then you will not be sluggish, but will imitate those who through faith and patience inherit what has been promised. We may not rise to this morning's gospel challenge, that seemingly insurmountable status of perfection, but we can dang sure try. I love you all.